Hi, and welcome back to Alex Talking. I love going to the movies, and today I saw Megan 2.0, and what a day it was. Megan is a movie that came out about 2 years ago, and oh, feels, yeah, about 2 years ago. And it honestly is a movie that I've never revisited since theaters. I even passed up an opportunity to see it in theaters a second time, which tells you about all you need to know about what I think of it. It was fine. PG-13 Blumhouse slasher tech camp fare, but not anything that ever really resonated with me. So whenever Megan 2 was announced and then plot details came out and it was detailed to be a Terminator 2 riff, like I was honestly kind of looking forward to the idea of that. Even though I'm much more into horror sensibilities, I thought that that'd be a really funny way to take this, especially with how campy and silly the original Megan was. Uh, that would be a fun way to do it, and make it fresh and could be really funny. And this was not. I have to admit, I was not a fan of Megan 2 at all. Um, Other than a few chuckles here and there, I enjoy the character of Megan to a certain extent. I don't fully understand the appeal because at the end of the day, I don't even like looking at her. She has very weird CGI going on in this one where I don't know how much money it must cost to do Megan CGI, but they don't want her to be on screen all that often, and when she is, I don't have any problem saying it doesn't look very good. Her lips never match what she's saying. If that's a creative decision, it's a stupid one and doesn't really make any visual sense other than being uncanny valley esque. Um, all the human characters are back, thank goodness, right? Because they were so good in the first place. Only worse with age, the young character especially. I could not stand any sort of like emotional aspect they tried to take with Katie and Megan's relationship. The way that it tried to tug on your heartstrings, it felt like it was playing tennis with itself as to whether or not it was for or against AI, and then very much so settling in a pro Megan stance. I thought that, like I said, the idea of Megan versus like a T1000 is a fun idea. Does anybody think this was handled in a fun way? To do something this ridiculously stupid, but play it as deadly straight as they did. And I know there's fun, stupid lines here and there. I mean, hold on to your vaginas is great, but really this was not as funny as it should have been. So that's why I don't even imagine this playing very well with the audience and people it's intended for, which at the end of the day I also question is who, because the people who kind of were okay with the PG-13 elements but like horror movies and the first one, this isn't a horror movie, so as someone who likes horror movies I can say it didn't really work as an action movie on its own. If you're going to it for a tech thriller, it's too horribly written and dumb to entertain you on any feasible scale of like an actual story. And at the end of the day, it's 2 hours long instead of 90 minutes like the first one, with just about the same amount of Megan screen time, maybe a little more. Um, I mean, no, less Megan screen time. Uh, because even though she's not killing people all the time in that original movie, she's still like there doing stuff. I never honestly would have thought I'd prefer the first one. With how stupid this one seemed to be taking itself from the marketing, I thought for sure I'd at least walk out thinking it was funner and more memorable. But this was so disposable, I won't remember a thing about it within a month because I mean they churned it out quick. It looked like shit, and I understand. I guess the guy who directed it wrote it as well, and he directed the first one, so maybe he had some passion for it. James Wan got a story credit, but it doesn't feel like any passion or care was put into this story other than making it a lifeless reclone of T2 and throwing in a couple of cunty lines. Like, that was not the way to handle this movie, in my opinion. There should have been 1,000 more cunty lines, and it should have just been funny. People have been comparing this to Austin Powers. In what way? It's not that funny. It's just not funny enough at all. Um, Allison Williams, God bless her, she's good in Get Out. What's she got to even work with here? You know, like I'm not calling her a bad actress because of that, but what a horribly written character. Like she just is reacting to things for the entire movie and constantly wrong about everything too, which I thought was a really fun way to write her character, where she's just stupid the entire time and constantly wrong in every single situation and being told what the truth is and what's really happening, because she could never actually figure it out for herself. Uh, and for whatever reason, even though the character is written that way, it's also very much so assumed in the way the movie is handled that you care about her character and her relationship to Megan, which I do not. I wouldn't have even brought them back, to be 100% honest. I mean, if you really wanted to, go ahead, but make it like a child's play type situation where she wants to come back and kill the kid she was friends with. Don't make it that, like, I mean, Megan's good in this movie, you know? Like it's fully a T800 situation. She's just, no, I'm back and I'm grown up now and I'm the kid's friend. And it's like, okay, whatever, but I was not into that at all. Jermaine Clement is in the first half of this movie. I couldn't believe how quickly they killed him, given how committed he was to the role and how he was the only person that understood, at least given the marketing and the way Jason Blum likes to masquerade that he like loves the camp of Megan. He's the only person that understood the vibe that made sense to be going for in this movie, and he was very funny. I loved his fake six pack and his scene with Amelia. Speaking of Amelia, yeah, man, that was just so baffling, the execution of that character in the long run. Because once again, does anyone think the way that eventually ended up going is more interesting or cooler or funner or anything better than her just actually being a robot that wants to fight Megan and take over the world? I won't get into specifics, but just needlessly overcomplicating yourself for 30 minutes of additional runtime that's unnecessary, completely unnecessary. I didn't even think the action looked good at all. I don't think that that's going to be a controversial opinion. Stuff like fight scenes with Allison Williams that consist of her hair covering her face entirely the entire time, because I guess they couldn't even find a stunt double that looked close enough to her. So shoot it all head on. So it's just shots of her punching at things, because we're not going to actually show her hitting something from a wide angle. So just close-up shots from her front punching something with her hair completely covering her face, to the point that at the end of the action sequence she brushes her hair back over her shoulders. Like, wow, like that's the big end to it. And it's like, I mean, literally, if you're 9, you don't know why her hair was over her face that entire time, but you know, it just felt so weird and like incompetent to me to shoot that way. Overall, yeah, this movie got about 2 nice laughs out of me. One of which was just Megan saying the F word, which is showing the level of wit that it takes to make me laugh at a movie like this, and puts into perspective how unfunny this really is for the most part, because I only laughed twice. And yeah, I think that all just comes down to like the PG-13 aspect of it. It's like, at the end of the day, this is trying like to appeal to, I guess, 13-year-olds on TikTok, because it's just not funny enough for any like adult to actually enjoy this movie in a way that was much more evident than even the first Megan was, to be 100% honest. It was just so, it felt like Independence Day Resurgence meets Terminator Genesis, with the skin of Venom over it, meaning it's a PG-13 movie that desperately wants to be rated R and set in San Francisco. So, yeah, Megan 2, I'm going to give it a 1.9 out of 5. I didn't hate the entire time I was sitting in the movie theater, but was very clear even while sitting in there that I was there for too long, and I just kept being confused by the directions this was heading, with just taking itself way too seriously. Um, but it like really wants to be funny, but only when Megan's on screen. So God bless you, Megan. You did great. Uh, Steven Seagal gets a fantastic shout out in this movie. Um, I was good enough with just the poster at the beginning and her saying that Steven Seagal's. What did we say about Steven Seagal being a role model? But the actual payoff in the third act of all things, where she quotes three Steven Seagal movies at the little girl. And like I was literally sitting there like on the edge of my seat saying like say above the law, say above the law. I know that's gonna be oh, she said above the law. I loved it. That was great. I would have been like, you gotta shoot his ass into the sun. But yeah, man, I just watched On Deadly Ground yesterday. So I certainly appreciated that. Overall, yeah, man, Megan 2 was ass, but I hope you liked it. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and thanks for watching. Have a great day.